when you start talking. Yeah,
Okay, there we go. All right, 3 right there, and I got extra batteries. Great. What a guy to have around, I'm telling you. Thanks, Doug.
Oh, you're most welcome.
Okay. So, just tell me about, like, all your brothers and sisters. So, who is the oldest? Tell me the order that they're in.
My brother Ray was the oldest.
All right, he was born 1911.
I don't know.
Okay, that I know, but...
Yeah, okay. And my sister Marion.
How many years later? Daddy was...
I don't know. She was born in,
Was she 3 years younger than him? 5 years younger?
She's 10 years exactly older than me.
Okay, and you're 15 years, so she's 5 years younger than Daddy, and you're 15 years younger than my daddy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mick, okay.
And my brother Bill was about 7 years older than me.
Okay, so that's another 8. Let's see, 7 years. So it's Mick, Bill, Shirley, and who are we missing?
Roy.
Oh, Roy. Oh, for crying out loud. All right, I'm thinking, whoa.
And he was 3 years younger than me.
So, 18 years younger than my dad. Wow, okay. So, Daddy. Okay. And where did you guys live?
Well, originally, I was born in Massachusetts.
In Holyoke.
So they were born in Massachusetts, except Roy. Was Roy born here too? Maybe, yeah, because I was 3 when we moved here, so he was probably an infant.
3 when you moved to Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you guys move?
Because my father couldn't get work and he was a bricklayer.
Oh.
And so he figured it was good to move where there was more of that type of work.
Okay. Now, did he work on, like, the Empire State Building somehow?
The Chrysler.
Oh, the Chrysler Building.
Right.
Oh.
He helped build the Chrysler Building.
Jeez. Okay. So now I remember hearing a story that that your dad would come home after he'd work all day long, and he would take a piece of bread, put butter all over it, and then cover it salt all over it. Oh.
Always have that much salt. It was like putting sugar on it. He put salt on.
Oh, jeez.
Well, and he died young.
How old was he?
About 53.
53. So how old were you when he died?
I was about 13.
You were about 13 when he died. Okay, so then Daddy was... Okay, did he die at home?
He died at home. But he'd been very sick for a couple of years. And I can remember he threw up, he spit up in a quart milk bottle. And what I think that was the phlegm from the cancer that he had.
So he had cancer?
I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Only you didn't talk about it then.
Yeah.
So.
Was he a smoker?
Yeah, oh yeah. Everybody except me.
Okay, everybody.
I'm the only non-smoker.
Even Grandma Ann?
If she went to a party and she had a whiskey sour, she might have a cigarette, but I don't ever remember her having a cigarette.
Okay, interesting. Was she and your dad the same age, or was he a lot older than her, or?
No, my dad was older.
Okay.
But I can't tell you how much older.
How many years?
But she lived till 76.
Grandma Ann lived till 76? Yeah. Okay.
And she died of a heart attack.
So a heart attack, okay. But your dad died of cancer.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he died of a heart attack. Isn't that funny? I don't know why
I think they said it was a heart attack, but he had been having problems all these years with spitting up. He always had this bottle under the bed so he could throw up, spit up phlegm during the night. So I think he had cancer.
Did he work during that time, or was he bedridden?
He would go and work in Poughkeepsie. He worked on the prison up there.
Oh, in the prison. This is
Yeah.
after the Chrysler building,
built,
obviously.
Yeah, he built the prison, helped build the prison in Poughkeepsie.
Oh, okay.
So-
All right. So tell me what it was like growing up. I mean, what kind of house did you live in?
Happy.
It was a happy house?
Yeah, always happy. Always got along with all of them.
Okay, but was your whole family happy, or you just saying you were very happy?
No, the whole family. Everybody got along.
And your mom and dad really loved each other?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, I can remember he said something to her, and she was cleaning the icebox, and she turned around and she threw the rag at him, the dish rag. But I can't. But my mom,
Fun.
my mom was the best mom.
She was?
Yeah, she was the apple pie mom. She cut trim the edges off the thing and give me the crust to throw over my shoulder, and whatever initial showed up, that was the one you were going to marry.
Whichever what showed up?
Your initial.
Whatever initial.
When the potatoes been peeled out. When the apples have been peeled, she'd peel an apple and go completely around.
Oh, one piece.
And then you throw that over your shoulder, and whatever the initial of the thing was, and it was an R.
Okay, so it was be the first name, and how funny!
Yeah.
How funny!
So
Okay, and so
and she read fortunes, tea leaves.
your mom, grandma, Ann did?
Oh, my mother read tea leaves. Called Darylyn and asked her, and Darylyn believed her no matter what. And I laugh, you know.
Because I mean, she knew it was just make believe. I mean, did she?
Oh, her mother.
You mean your great grandma?
My great grandma. Yeah. No, my grandma.
Yeah. So it would be okay, your grandma.
Yeah. Okay. She had two. They lived someplace upstate. I can't tell you where. Jordan Falls. Mom was born in Jordan Falls.
That's New York, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Upstate New York. And she said 2 hunters came and they asked could they have a meal, and so, you know, and we'll pay you for it. And she said, but you shouldn't go hunting. You shouldn't go hunting. And he said, why? And she says, because one of you isn't coming back. And so she had that. Aunt Mick, they say, had a veil when she was born, and that's supposed to be the sign of it. But Darylyn would make me, she would bring tea leaves up to Aunt Helen's house when I'd go up with her. And then I had to make tea so Shirley could read the tea leaves. I said, I don't know how to read tea leaves. She says, if your mother did it, you probably do, and you don't know it.
So on those hunters, did one of them die?
One of them died. One shot the other.
Huh.
Accidentally.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Oh,
yeah.
boy.
But I had to turn the tea leaf like 3 times around, and then you could look at it, and then you'd read what was on it.
So your grandma did that?
No, my mother.
Just your mom did.
That.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know if my grandmother did.
Okay, so it's just your mom.
My mom did. But
That's pretty funny and stuff. Did you remember your grandpa? Do you remember your grandma and grandpa?
I I said to Mick one day, did Grandpa Dowd look like Santa Claus? And she said yes. But I was only 3 when we left Holyoke, so...
Oh, I got you.
know.
Okay. But you were saying they were in upstate New York. But they were...
But my parents lived in Holyoke then.
Okay.
And they lived in Holyoke then.
Oh, then. Okay, so they had moved.
Yeah,
so
so maybe when... Yeah.
I was trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, so you really don't remember your grandparents?
Grandma Vizina, yeah.
Oh, so that was, okay, so, and Grandpa Vizina, okay. I remember
Grandma Vizina
visiting them one time. I mean, it was, because I would have been alive before.
For Grandma Vizina, yeah.
Okay, but I thought Grandpa was actually still alive, maybe?
But Grandma Vizina married a man who had 7 sons. I don't know. Napoleon, Moses, I can't.
Just let us drink.
Uncle Henry. I can't think, But I know there were about 7 of them.
So that was her first marriage?
That was her first marriage.
Oh, okay.
And she married him because his wife had died.
Oh, okay.
And Mom was about 40 when that happened. So when her mother got married again, she was 40.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh.
No,
that wouldn't be right.
No.
So Grandma
I don't know when but Grandpa Vizina had a daughter too, but he was this grandpa I remember.
But Grandma Vizina and Grandpa Vizina, Grandma Ann was their daughter?
No, she was Menard's daughter. Oh. She had half brothers and first brother, like Uncle Bill, Uncle Frank, and Mom were brothers and sisters.
Okay.
By Menard.
Okay.
Okay.
What I'll do later on, we'll do this like tomorrow, is I'll actually draw it out so I can see a visual, because it gets a little confusing. So when you guys moved to Brooklyn, so Daddy would have been like 21, because if he was 18, because if he was 15 years older than you and you were 3.
Yeah, I was 3.
Okay, so as you grew up, so Daddy lived close by until he got married?
Well, no, we all lived together on Tompkins Avenue.
Tompkins Avenue.
And then we moved to Flatbush, and when we moved to Flatbush, we lived in the 2nd story of a house, someone's house.
5 kids and 2
adults. And 2 adults, and that's where Pop died. So,
how did your mom take care of your kids after he died?
The man that owned the place said she could continue stoking the furnace. She would put coal in the furnace. I mean, he wanted Mom to marry him. And she said, no, I'll never get married again. So, but that I went with in the crowd, Billy Palmer, and it was his grandfather who owned the house that we lived in.
Oh, I see. Okay,
so,
alrighty. So what did my dad do when he was 18? He didn't get his high school diploma, did he? Did Daddy drop out of high school to work?
Gee, I don't know.
Okay,
I know that Bill did. I think Mick and Ray both got their diplomas.
Oh,
I think they both. I don't know, because I'm that much younger, and I wouldn't know,
But Bill didn't.
But Bill didn't, until he got here, and he went to night school and asked them how could he go about getting his diploma. He was in his last year at Brooklyn Tech when Pop died, and she had to take him out of school to go to work.
Oh, I see.
And they gave Bill a test, comprehension test, and when he went up, they said, "Congratulations, graduate." He didn't have to take any course.
Wow. So how old was he then when he got that?
My guess is 40s.
40s. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good that he went and, checked things
Yeah,
out.
right. And I sent him a graduation card, and he says that was the only graduation card he got. But they lived here. He and Aunt Helen lived here.
On Long Island.
Yeah, they lived in North Belmore.
Yeah. I can remember that.
And Mick lived in Levittown. See, I remember Candace as a baby, but I don't remember you as a baby, because Candace lived across the street from my mother
Oh.
on Bedford Avenue.
That's because we had pictures of her in a little bathtub
Right.
out on the fire
when
escape.
when I was in labor with Chris the night I have been at Mick's house, and it was my first wedding anniversary. Was it?
Yeah, that's right, because you got married and Chris was born the next year or something. You were talking about it.
That's right.
That's right, you guys were talking about that.
And I remember I used a whole roll of toilet paper. I kept cracking all night long.
Thanks for sharing that with us.
So in the morning, they called Dr. Markowitz, who was my doctor, and he lived on the next block. And he said, he called there, and he said to me, "Take her right to the hospital. I'll be down as soon as I can get dressed." And your father took the car, and they put a big bucket in the car for me, so if I broke water, I was supposed to sit on this.
So where was Uncle Roy?
He was at sea.
Oh, was at sea?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he was at sea.
Gotta put the food on the table, you know?
And he drove me to the hospital.
So Daddy did. Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
Mick and he did.
the story I heard on my birth
Right,
was Daddy took Mommy to the hospital,
right.
and the doctor told him to go home. It would not be. It would be the next day or something. And I guess we were living in Levittown, and he came home back to Levittown, left Mommy in Brooklyn, and you called him and said congratulations on your baby girl, and he said, "What are you talking about?" I
Mick
just left
must
her.
have
Oh,
called.
Mick must have called. Okay.
Yeah,
Because he had left, and by the time he got home, I was born, and then they couldn't reach him, so they had to call.
right.
I guess you were.
Yeah.
Okay. Was that me or Candy? Do you know if we were living in Levittown then? Candy was in Brooklyn.
Candy was married. It was born before I got married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's right, because Chris.
And I used to go over and visit her. You know, she was. I'd walk in the house, and I can remember her coming out, and she'd say, she knew I was there, and she wanted to see me.
Yeah.
She'd come out, and your mother would say, "Didn't I tell you to stay in that room?" And she said, "Yes."
How old could she be?
Little. She was a toddler. She talked.
Yep, so probably around 2, maybe.
Yeah, okay. And she said, and then your mother said, "Well, I want you to go back in that room and don't come out until you're smiling." And she turns around and she goes back in the room.
Big tears coming down her
Yeah,
eyes.
she come back. She's like,
What a cool
I
mother.
smile and the big tears would still be running down her face.
Oh,
She was so but see, I remember her because she was the baby, you know.
the only one there, really.
Yeah, but I don't know where. See, I didn't live in Levittown,
Yeah, yeah.
so
it was probably Mick that
Yeah.
had called.
yeah,
I mean,
I lived in West Hempstead,
okay.
and you guys lived in Levittown.
Okay, now.
And Doris Menard lived in Levittown, and Doris Guarini.
Oh, Guarini. Okay.
Okay.
So, the Menards. Who I remember, Bill Menard, but there was also an Uncle Bill.
That was
Uncle Bill is Bill Menard.
Okay.
Right.
It's okay. So that was Grandma Ann's brother.
Yes.
Okay. Now, did he have kids then?
Doris.
Doris was okay. I'm getting it. See,
And
I
they
knew
raised the other Doris's daughter,
Daryl.
Darylyn.
Oh.
And you know Daryl.
Oh, Darylyn. Sure,
Yeah.
she used to babysit Candy and.
Well, I used to babysit Daryl, and
Oh.
I was 14 when she was born.
Oh, you were 14 when she.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So this is all in Brooklyn. That was okay. Let me think. What else? So, how was it? I mean, how were the interactions between the family? Because there's such a wide span. Like you said, my dad was a grouch.
No, he would say he was older, so he wanted to be the father of the family. And so Candace would say to me, Aunt Shirley, he's so strict. I said, don't tell me about it. Because I remember one day he said to me, I want you to go down to the candy store and buy me a cigarette. Because you can buy Lucy's.
Oh, you can buy
Yeah, Lucy's for a penny. And I said, go get it yourself. He grabbed me by the arm and I bit him. And then I went off to high school. When I got home, my mom said to me, how was your day? I said, fine. She said, your brother had to go get a tetanus shot.
And so you were in high school, so he was like probably 30.
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
So,
But did you guys normally get along?
Yes, but he was always the boss.
Because your dad was no longer had a dad.
And Mick and I slept together, and we shared the bed. And so, like, if she'd go out with the girls in the city, I can remember she took me to my first play.
Oh, your first play?
Yeah, stuff like that. So.
Okay.
But I was 15 years younger than her.
But she was, so she was 5 years older than you?
15.
No, my daddy was 15 years older than you. So she must have been
Mick was
10 years older.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. So she was 20, yeah. That's a big span. And Roy is, you said, 3 years younger than you.
Yeah.
Okay. So who was your favorite sibling?
Bill.
Bill.
Oh, Bill, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, Roy, we always treated, even as an adult, he was our baby.
Yeah.
Like, at Christmas time, we'd hang a stocking on the radio, and everybody'd put a gift in it for Roy.
Roy.
So,
Because he was so 18 years younger than Daddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Oh,
right.
funny. Now, what was about Bill? Just your personalities really meshed?
Yeah. Well, during the war, Bill took me every place. But if he'd come home on leave, and he'd take me down to the local bar and grill to go dancing, or,
Yeah.
because he knew I'd always meet someone. He'd have a date with someone, and I'd go too, because then I had someplace.
You'd meet other people and you'd have something to do.
Right. And after I moved in this house, I was washing the windows in our bedroom, and then I wasn't afraid to sit on the ledge. And the next thing I know, the oil man is coming and he's giving us oil. And he says, Berg? I said, yes. And he's giving us oil. And he says to me, Shirley? And I said, yeah. He says, how come Berg? What'd you do, split up with Bill?
What'd you do, split up with Bill?
Oh, he says, Bill Dowd. He says, that's my brother. She said, I never knew it was your brother.
Oh, isn't that funny that he would think that?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So he knew you, so he met you here, but that was in Brooklyn that he would go out dancing.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh my. How did he meet Helen? How did Uncle Bill meet Aunt Helen?
He went someplace and she would cashier. And then I was the one, I didn't like her.
You didn't like her?
But he didn't know it. But she knew it. Well, he had given me jewelry for Christmas.
So you were already married to Roy?
No, we were still going together.
Oh,
We were both, they got married before we did.
Oh, okay.
No,
Right.
I called her bouquet.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. No, but he gave me a pin and earring set, and it was so pretty, and it had big zircons and earrings,
Yeah.
Oh, and Bill had bought her an engagement ring, but her ring didn't have that size stones in it. And she threw it back at him. And I thought, she did that to my brother. I thought he bought her what he could afford, and
Yeah, that would have broken my heart.
right,
Yeah. To see that happen.
So that's when I didn't like her, and then I got her a job working with me. I was the boss, and I got her working. She says, I won't know how to do it. I said, Helen, you use an adding machine all the time. It's like that, because it would keep on you. So I got her a job with me and everything, and then we got along better.
She's the best thing ever happened to Bill.
Yeah.
Really? Really?
Well, she was a real frugal.
Oh,
Right, yeah.
Because,
But see,
Irish.
we'd go out together.
She kept the books and everything, and
Made sure he didn't go blow it all.
We remember the night we all went to the place where it was closed. It was a closed party, except for the bakery union.
that's when she took the rap for you.
And what happened is we're coming back. He's driving. I drank and I'm throwing up outside of his mother's car. He's got.
Oh, jeez. How old were you?
I don't know.
Old enough to know better.
That was probably the company
Bill
you
and
hung
Helen.
around with.
Bill and Helen were married, so I was the year before I got married.
We got a picture someplace they took that night. Your brother Roy was there.
And then he had my girlfriend from work, Rosemary. My brother Roy had her with.
She upchucked all over the side of the car.
Oh.
And then Helen handed me her linen hanky to use. And I wiped my mouth. And then I left it on the seat. And in the morning, Roy's mother goes in the car. And she sees the embroidered H on that. So Helen was sick last night. And he says, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But
So how did I mean, I think that was really mean of Aunt Helen to throw that ring back at him. So what happened after that?
I don't think she threw it. She just said, she made some comment about that it was kind of small.
So, but did she accept it or she gave it back?
She gave it back.
She made him some kind of.
She made him get a bigger one.
Oh.
And she looked so beautiful.
That happened in a restaurant.
God.
Next to the King's Theater there.
Were you guys with
These
them?
people always hung around bars. You know? I could not sit and drink beer all night. Like this. But they were the Vanderveer. That was a place where that's the first time I met.
Well, that was the local bar and grill.
That was the first time I met Helen. I think it was in that restaurant.
So how?
She was very unhappy with that small ring. It was very obvious.
Oh, that's so
And he
sad.
went with a girl by the name of Flo Unger during World War II. Bill.
Oh, it wasn't
I
me.
was worried. Yeah.
Okay, so how old were you and Uncle Roy when you guys got married?
2 years apart.
No. So how long?
Well,
how
I
old were
was
you?
25, he was 27.
Okay, and how old was Uncle Bill?
Been around the block a few times.
How old was Uncle Bill and Aunt Helen when they got married?
They were up
They
there.
were married the year before me.
Oh, so he was older.
But
than,
nobody knew how old Helen was until
That's what
she
she
died. And her sister put,
And her name wasn't Helen, it was Ellen.
well, I knew it was
Ellen and not
She
Helen.
didn't like that.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that
Yeah.
funny?
But her sister put her date of birth on the tombstone
So was she a lot older than Uncle Bill, or?
of a year or so.
Oh, so
I don't know.
how silly. Well, people want to
I
hide
know,
their age.
but she didn't want it told.
She was a very,
And
very
they're-
nice woman.
Oh, I always remember when they would come over. It was usually Christmas and stuff.
They had
Yeah.
all
So
the nieces
gracious.
and nephews and no kids.
And I remember them always buying us, Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
And it was. But I have to say, I can remember one year it was like clothing, and I was just like, oh, it was. I wanted a toy. How
Yeah.
ungrateful, kids
Yeah.
are. Ungrateful. But yes, they were always very, very nice. Bill, remember him always just laughing.
Towards the
Yeah.
end, we were
Well, he
we were really
always-
close.
He always had the real good jokes.
Uncle Bill
Yeah,
said,
no.
well, I was
Yeah.
too young.
And when we'd go up, we in the motorhome, we'd stay there for a few days so we'd get to visit them.
So,
But when he died, she called to tell us that he was back in the hospital.
did he die of cancer?
Yeah.
Yeah, at home though.
And he said,
She and
no,
Helen.
but he,
Yeah,
but
you and
we-
Helen took care of it. You
but
put a
he
mirror
took-
by his mouth to
Yeah.
make sure he was gone.
Yeah.
I guess you'd seen that on television someplace.
Oh.
But Bill was, it was
It
bad.
was a
Yeah.
thing.
Did
Did he have hospice? I mean, was there hospice
Yeah,
involved?
Yeah. No, he had hospice.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
That was
But
nice.
he was back. He was in the hospital, and she said she had to put him back in the hospital. So he took me up that night.
Oh.
And when we got up there, I walked in the room.
In the hospital.
And I said, "He's not in here." And he said, "Try the next door." Maybe the guy gave us the wrong number. I walked in and I saw his hands. And I said, "It's him." And he says, "How do you know?" I said, "His hands." I knew what his hands
Hands look
looked
like.
like.
Yeah.
So he had his hand on the like the crib that they had.
Sides.
They had him, And I went up and I put my hand on his hip, and he turned around and he said, "When are you going home?"
He said, "When are you going home?"
Yeah. she comes out of the ladies' room. She says, "Did he talk to you?" I said, "Yeah." I said, he says, "When am I going home?" She says, "That's an awful thing for him to say." I said, "He's saying, how long are you going to stay?"
Yeah, yeah.
And that night he recouped, and they let him come home, and we took care of him at home.
Oh,
But we
nice.
ripped diapers in half trying to put them. We didn't know how the hell to put a paper diaper on an adult. You know.
Yeah.
We ripped diapers and
So how old was Uncle Bill when he died? What year?
74.
He was saying. So what year was that? Do you kind of know when he died? Did he die before Daddy did? My daddy?
Yes.
He did. Yeah, I guess so. I lose track of time.
They were pretty close though.
Yeah.
And Roy was 74 too.
Was he 78? So Uncle Bill and I'm trying to think. Daddy died a year after Allison, 1985. Daddy was born 1911. So Daddy was 74.
So they all died at 74.
Isn't that strange? 1911, and he died in 1985. And well, he was actually 73. He would have been 74 in December. So that's what it is.
All we heard was he's playing golf. He's playing golf. That was what we kept hearing. Yeah, that's what we kept hearing. Oh, he's out playing golf.
Oh, Daddy, yeah, he loved Oregon because year round. I mean, you get wet, but he had these special, shoes. He'd go out and this little podunk golf course that he just loved, and he'd go out there all the time. It cost next to nothing,
But I took him fishing one day here, down to Quander Hall.
Yeah.
And I brought the poles, and the two of us fished.
You and Daddy?
Yeah, I don't know what we caught. I don't know if we caught anything. But I said to your mother when I got home, I said, he talked to me more today than he has in his whole life.
Oh, what a special time. I mean, really. But sometimes it's not set up that you can really talk to somebody. I mean, you talk on the phone, but with a whole bunch of other people, there's only so much depth you're going to go into.
Yeah. But he just talked to me and talked to me. Because we used to walk the dog, take the dogs for a walk. You had
Holly, probably.
Yeah.
Because he had Holly here.
Yeah, and I had Kara.
Kara, okay.
And they could go for a swim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down there.
So we take them down. But I took them fishing, and we were on the pier at Quander.
Now, when Daddy was going, do you know what kind of jobs he had? I knew he was
I can only remember him being in shoes.
Shoes, okay.
Even when I can remember him bringing me Indian walk shoes. And I'd say to my mother, they look like grandma's shoes. Well, Ray says they fit you well, and that's the kind you should wear.
Bill was in shoes for a while. Then he went into the printing up in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Oh, really? My dad?
A place
No,
where
Bill.
Oh, Bill.
Bill, yeah. No,
Bill.
Your father was always in the shoes, but Bill was in shoes, and then we went up there because they were going to circle the wagons against the communists.
Yeah,
What is
They
it?
had all the food and water down the cellar when it was done. They were going to try to take the country over.
Oh, my
But
goodness.
there was,
Oh.
what was it?
What
Some
were the
man's-
bomb shelters? You mean?
Yeah.
No, it was not a bomb. It was.
Well, it
But
could-
there was a guy that predicted that the communists were going to take over.
Yeah.
And it was a society.
It's
What the
a
hell was that?
Smith.
Oh, I know. The John Birch
Birch,
Society.
yeah, they were big John Birch.
Oh,
Yeah.
how
You know, when Helen was cleaning up the house after Bill left, she had to get rid of all that cans of water and crackers and all that. She had to get rid of it. It was down the
You'd
cellar.
probably kill everybody now. They'd be so old, you know.
You know what she used to do? Even when she broke her leg, she would take a bucket of water
And soap.
and
a
scrub
brush.
the stairs all the way down.
And then she'd scrub the basement floor,
Yeah.
the cement floor.
It's
She was a clean freak.
Oh, my
She
God.
ironed all his underwear.
Oh, my.
Only time I ever ironed underwear when it was new.
You should have shipped it up to Aunt Helen. She could have.
Yeah. Boy, she was a worker. Well, that's the way they were up in Newfoundland.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's right. She's from Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was she ever a citizen?
Huh?
Yes.
Was she a citizen? She became
Oh
a
yeah,
US
yeah
citizen.
both she and Nora.
Okay.
Nor,
But some of her brothers came down and worked and then went back. Although Edward, was it Edward?
Edwin.
Edwin. He
That was
I don't know
Nora's.
whether he might have still been a Canadian. He's living over in New Jersey now.
Okay.
He and his wife are still alive, and Nora.
He's not alive. Edwin died years ago.
Yeah.
You're talking about Ned.
Edwin was Nora's husband then. I'm talking about Helen's brother.
Helen's brother is Ned.
Oh, all right.
Edwin
Ned.
was Nora's husband.
All right. Well, he was kind of a handyman.
No, yeah, but he had a heart of gold.
Oh, and tell me about Aunt Grace. How does Aunt Grace fit in? Who is she?
Who's Aunt
Who's Aunt
Grace?
Grace?
Oh, maybe it's on my mom's side then. Forget it. I was
Okay.
thinking she was on your side because I remember she lived in Connecticut, and that's all I.
I don't remember Aunt Grace.
Okay.
But Irene, Ryan.
Oh, I know the name. Oh,
Yeah.
Mommy, I think was in touch with her before she died.
Yeah, she lived right near the barrel. So,
Okay.
and she met. Oh, her name was Ryan because she married Eddie. Oh, and that wasn't her name. Irene what? I don't know. But I was so surprised, and she became Irene Ryan because she married Eddie Ryan. But I knew Eddie for years.
Okay. I knew that.
He used to ride me home from school. My girlfriend went with his boyfriend, and they meet us on their bikes, and they put us on their handlebars and pedal us.
Oh, I remember doing that as kids.
Yeah.
Now, did Uncle Bill and Aunt Helen, now they never had kids. Did they want
No.
children and they just couldn't?
They just never.
Yeah.
Her family, the men all had big families, and the women didn't have
Huh.
anything.
So, something that's interesting. Because I remember, that
They just had all nieces and nephews.
Okay.
Uh,
And I remember Daddy telling a story, or maybe Mommy, about, and you may not know anything about it, but Daddy had gone out with Uncle Norman
yeah.
and
See,
somebody
Uncle
else.
Norman is dirt.
Right. That's Dirk.
me.
Yeah.
That's all I call dirt.
But they had gone out in the eye of a hurricane and played golf.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, you know what? I think it might have been my Uncle Tommy on the other side of the family. And they came back. Their pants were all rolled up. They emptied water out of their golf bags and stuff.
But I knew Tommy, but I knew Lou too. So it must be I knew them from the church.
Okay, because they all lived in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, well, we lived quite a good walk from apart. But they lived one side of the church and we lived the other side of the church.
Ah, okay, So, were you in the same neighborhood though, kind of?
No, I don't know where Ray met Jamie.
Okay.
I don't have any idea where.
I think I heard the story once, but I can't.
Yeah, no.
I can't remember.
But I knew Jackie and Larry.
Oh, no, because Mommy went out with Uncle Bill first. I remember that. She actually dated Bill first before she dated Daddy.
Oh.
Now that I remember.
Well, the only reason Bill was home on leave, and he had taken her someplace. Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was.
And her feet were hurting. So he said, I'll give you a piggyback ride. And she got up, and he's got his blue serge
uniform.
tailor-made.
Okay.
And he carried her. When he gets down, he's got leg makeup all over.
Leg makeup?
Yeah, her leg makeup was all over So-
because you couldn't. They didn't have nylons.
No,
during
yeah,
the war.
no, and you put makeup on your lip. You get,
Oh, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't.
but that's the color of the suit that your mother wore on her wedding day. It's not royal blue. It was more
A dusty blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you think you have a picture of my mom and dad's
I don't
wedding?
know, Dad.
He's downstairs.
Well, he's the picture guy. Do you have any pictures of Janie's wedding?
What?
Do you have any pictures of Jane and Ray's wedding?
No,
Oh, he might not have been home.
I wasn't there.
He was.
Oh, okay. You're off the hook.
Yeah, he was. See, he was going to see.
See, okay. So, how many years after Mommy and Daddy got married did you guys get married? So they got married in 1946.
And we got married in
40. When was Chris born?
Chris was.
Born 50. Because he was born before me, so 49. So you must have been
Chris-
married in 48. Because I was born 1950. Chris is older than me.
Yeah.
So was he born 1949? Or
Yeah.
19? Okay. So then you must have been married in 1948 because he was born like a year
Yeah, well,
later.
I was just married 60 years.
Okay. Let me do the math here. So 2008 minus 60. Yeah, 1948.
Yeah.
Okay. 1948. So then he was born 49. So Chris is really only, Chris is only like a year older than me. I was thinking maybe 2 years.
No.
Okay, then I'm going to stop because I'm going to get ready to
Okay.
head out and stuff. All right, let's see if I can figure out how to turn this thing off. All right, stop. Here's the stop button. There we go.